evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another jam-packed edition of Silver Screen. I'm your host, Robert Haynes, and with me is the lovely... So, what films did you watch this weekend? Now, let's get started on the Oscar films. Let's get started on Manchester by the Sea.
Absolutely heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It's about this guy who basically loses his entire family, well, he loses the 3 kids.
This is Casey Affleck's character.
Yeah. He loses the 3 kids in a fire,
yeah.
And then obviously him and the wife divorce.
Yeah.
And then it's just going through the motions of suffering loss and dealing with loss. It was very well shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was quite good.
It's a beautiful movie about a guy who has to come back to the town where he's from in order to take care of his nephew.
I can't be his guardian.
I think the idea was that you would relocate.
Relocate to where?
Well, if you
Here?
look, it was my impression that you'd spent a lot of time here.
Kenny Lonergan writes in such a way that draws you in to the story and to the characters' lives.
Hello, Lee? I just wanted to call and say I'm sorry. How's Patrick doing?
He doesn't really open up with me.
His characters are so richly drawn. There's such great detail that you believe that they're real people.
Where are we going, to the orphanage?
Shut up. Get in the car.
Can't obey your orders until you unlock the door.
The writing is so subtle and nuanced and so carefully crafted that to bring all of the little things out of it, only he could do it.
He writes human drama and human situations and dialogue better than anyone I've ever seen.
Do you actually have sex with these girls?
Strictly basement business.
What does that mean?
It means I'm working on it.
When I first heard about it, I was so excited to read whatever Kenny had been working on. And before I'd even closed it, I knew that I wanted to be a part of it.
I said a lot of terrible things to you. My heart was broken, and I know yours is broken too.
No, you don't understand. There's nothing there.
That's not true.
He has captured something here that's really unique and raw.
Why can't you stay?
I can't beat it.
I think Kenny will be recognized as the voice of our generation.
It feels like real life. I think the movie's incredible.
What about Casey Affleck's performance, though? They tipping him as the front runner to win Best Actor.
Oh, he was brilliant, hey?
Yeah.
Oh, such a good actor. No, he was amazing.
And what about the film as a whole? If I had to push you for a score out of 10, what would you give it?
Here we go.
And remember, like I said to you, no halves.
No, I'd give this one a 6.
A 6?
It was too depressing. Yeah, I'd give it a 6.
What do you think in terms of it winning Best Picture? Do you think it stands a shot?
No, not really. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
Well, there you have it. Nkobile says 6 out of 10 for Manchester by the Sea. Next up, we have Hacksaw Ridge.
Nice flying fly.
How does somebody go into the worst place on Earth without a weapon?
Ready and action.
It's World War II. Desmond Doss was a Seventh Adventist who believed that the war was just and killing was wrong.
Although he supported this war and he really wanted to be there to heal and to help people, but he just did not feel justified in taking life.
Camp here, fellas. Fall out.
Desmond seems to me that he was in tune with this idea of oneness, that we are all one, that we are all brothers and sisters. He didn't just live that through words and through ideas, he lived it through actions, and you can see it in the film.
Coming at this idea of saving lives from 2 different angles. One man wants to do it without a weapon and be a medic, and my man believes you're only as good as the man next to you, and if the man next to you doesn't have a weapon and you're in a war zone, it might end tragic.
Would I have the conviction to walk into enemy fire to save my enemy? How's that? I mean, wow. I mean, dynamite. The guy was like, wow.
A real life story like this is imperative because his story does need to be told. I think it's incredibly brave and special.
The Congressional Medal of Honor, it's like it's given to people who have one moment where they sort of make this snap decision and they could either run or, but what they end up doing something heroic. This guy did it 24/7 for months.
That's our objective. Hacksaw Ridge.
I love Mel. I think he's such an amazing talent. He's got a great combination, I think, of being very smart, having great taste, and then also being very including with that, bringing you into that and very generous with it.
He's got great instincts, I think. Really trusts his instincts, follows his instincts. Something's not instinctively working for him, he'll try and find out what it is that he wants.
He said he rarely enjoys making a movie, but I don't buy it. It just looks like he's having a whale of a time. And of course, having someone who's such a great actor with their eyes on you just makes you feel so safe.
He is a director that wants to make sure every beat, every moment feels authentic.
Very few actors become great directors. They're
a lot of actors who've directed a very good movie or two, but very few actually keep going and get better as they go along.
Basically, what you're trying to do is make something clear, clarity and truth. So find the truth of it and find a way to show it, probably heightened truth where it's more clear.
For me, Hacksaw Ridge had a huge problem. It felt like Mel Gibson who had his Bible under his arm again.
Oh, gosh.
So it was him standing in front of or behind the pulpit, preaching to the masses in terms of what he believes in and what he thinks you should believe in, and so on and so forth. The entire film for me was very heavy-handed, It was very over the top. The religious iconography and the way the film was shot and all the rest of it, well shot, yes. Very gruesome, very over the top, but it was just too heavy-handed. So for me, Hacksaw Ridge, I'm afraid to say I give it a feeble 5. It's technically sound, well shot, but there's no real heart here.
I can't touch a gun.
Violence is against his religious beliefs, but he wanted to serve his country in World War II.
You don't kill.
No, sir.
Quite a bit of killing does occur in war.
He was just this very ordinary guy that has no intention of being a hero.
Desmond was so committed to his cause and had resonated with me.
Why are you still here?
I fell in love with you because you weren't like anyone else.
The movie is about belief, and if you stick to it, you can achieve anything.
While everybody else is taking life, I'm gonna be saving it.
Desmond couldn't compromise his principles. That was quite remarkable.
You've done more than any other man could have done in the service of his country.
The story of Desmond Doss is such a unique story.
How does somebody go into the worst place on earth without a weapon? He did, in fact, do that.
We'll get you home.
What do you think the chances of Hacksaw winning Best Pictures are?
Hacksaw Ridge doesn't stand a chance of winning Best Picture, in my opinion. No, you know what? They've got this betting site on all the Oscar films, and I hate to say it, but do you know what the odds-on favorite to win is at the moment?
No.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
Oh gosh.
It's a musical.
What? La La Land?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
No, that's the odds-on favorite to win at the
ways.
moment. They've got it almost at even money at the moment on the site.
But I did tell you about La La Land.
No, listen, I'm not disputing that you think it's a great film. I'm not saying that I have to agree with you though. I still think it's a pile of beep, but I mean that's my opinion. Again, guys, if you agree with us or if you disagree with us, tweet us using the hashtag SilverScreen at CNBC Africa. We're going to go over now to an interview that we shot last week. I chatted to Brendon Daniels. There's a new film that started on circuit on Friday the 24th of February called Tess. It's a very, very dark look into the life of a 20-year-old prostitute on the streets of Cape Town. We chatted to the lead villain, who is played by Brendon Daniels, about his role in the film and what it's like working with such dark material. Take a look.
The character, the name of the character is Medic, twisted individual. Normally seem to get those parts. Went to audition for Meg Ricards, who was the director of the film, and I think we struck up a great relationship from the get-go. It was a testing piece to do. Over and above the content, also the emotional involvement and physical element to it. So yes, it was a typical case of where you were asked to do numerous number of takes, because I think she wanted to cover all her bases, and kudos to her, because those who would venture out to go and watch the film, they would see that it's not very heavily dialogue driven, and there are visual masterpieces that comes together in this particular film. I think she got it spot on when she got a the Danish editor on board to cut the film, and hopefully it will show.
Hoeveel moet ik betalen?
Gaat het Karo 100? Mijn enkel baas hier gemaakt. Ik word iets van pijn en koude mond, denk ik.
is. Zeker kook, rokkend.
Was jou ma? Rarig, Bonita?
Was dit net Tess? Hy is goed vir my.
I didn't even touch my sweeties.
Het hy gebyt?
Medic! Ek roep die boere. Daai kind is onskuldig.
Gee aan van my.
Hy's eintlik baie sweet.
Hoekom ons ook sien, Tess? Vir ordentlik Afrikaanse meisies soos jy.
Charities.
Kan ons weer try?
Hey, Tess. Die keer gaan jy luister.
I have to say that theatre has prepared me for a lot of things because really in theatre there's nowhere to hide. You're on stage and the audience is right there. So I've had a good couple of productions where we explore dark material. So in a sense you take that skill with you when you do screen work. But yeah, it definitely leaves a print with you. And the way I do it is that I try and find a form of grounding or anchorage of some sort, which normally is my little nephew, 8-year-old. As soon as I'm done with the production, he comes and spends the weekend with me and he just grounds me again, so yeah. Look, South Africa is no easy place to live in. I think I first discovered it when I went abroad and I realized after a while that something is different and there was no suppressed anxiety. And I just think that these female directors, I don't really like to give the term female because a director is a director, they tend to explore all the dark issues surrounding South Africa, and in a lot of those cases, females come under the spotlight. I have to say this though, is that it's interesting that a lot of female characters are now being created, strong female characters, apart from Tess and apart from, you know, the lead character in this Ek Anna. This particular film that I'm shooting later this year also has 3 very strong female leads. And it's a testament, I suppose, to the younger talent that's coming through, but also observing the situation currently in South Africa. I was extremely proud to be part of a film where it's not heavily dialogue driven, because we as South African audiences, sometimes we need to embrace the stillness of a shot and take a sort of a fly on the wall look at things. And I think it was brave filmmaking. So yes, it's definitely for a niche market, but hopefully it will educate audiences and open up that door to, you know, getting more local audiences going to local art films.
I've been going through these things for a month. But women that really go through it for years. This is why we're doing this. It's to get the story out there and to get people to understand what women are going through.
Is that reg kom, Tess?
Right, currently I'm doing a play at the Market Theatre. It's a play called The Meeting. It's a fictionalized encounter between Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I have the opportunity to play Malcolm X. That will be running until the 26th of Feb. Then it's Afrikaans festival time, KAK&K. I'm doing a very exciting piece called Liever. It was written by Tertius Kap and directed by Jaco Bouwer. And then I'm moving on to a film. We're shooting a western somewhere in Beaufort West. And interesting enough, this will be my second western, because last year we shot one in Lady Grey. So to tie back into the conversation, South Africa is now really casting its net wider with regards to the type of films that we're making. And it's a brave new world out there.
Time for a quick trip to the local box office this week. In third place, there's no change. The Lego Batman movie is still entertaining kids across the country. In second place is The Great War with Matt Damon, which is an interesting Chinese-made blockbuster.
Every 60 years, for 8 terrible days, they rise.
What on earth are they fighting here? What is it they want?
To scourge the world.
And in first place, Christian Grey is still whipping his way through 50 Shades Darker.
Right, moving on to Fences. Rob, you saw this one. What did you think of it?
Does that answer your question? Fences was another example of, it's a stage play. The whole film is based on a stage play, but did the whole thing have to be so damn static? It literally felt like they'd taken a camera into a nicely decorated theatre. Although it was shot on location, it was still so fixed. It was one location. The entire film was literally in one location. So it felt very, very stiff and staid. And it's 2.5 hours long, the film, So by the end of the film, you are so claustrophobic in terms of being in the same location. Look, don't get me wrong. Denzel Washington's performance is excellent. He's always a great actor. He's always great in everything he does. And Viola Davis's performance is out of this world. She is great. So the performances are there.
Brilliant,
the performances are strong. But the movie, again, it's scissors, editing. These guys, they need to realize you can't be self-indulgent and have something go on for 2.5 hours if there's no reason for it.
I just had to get the best and let them do what they do. And the fact that we did the play, we know the rhythms of the music, so we're a pretty tight band. Jovan is a new member of the band, but he's a fast learner.
I'm just telling you, I'm so proud to be in that ensemble, and it just turned out to be just so much joy.
You got more stories than the devil got sinners.
One of the things that I love that August does, he's so absolutely bold and captures the bigness of life in the smallest ways. Why don't you go ahead and let the boy play football, Troy? He just want to be like you with the sports.
I don't want him to be like me. I want him to get as far away from my life as he possibly can get. You the only decent thing ever happened to me, Rose.
There's a music to his stories. All you have to do is just pay attention to it and really let yourself go into the story.
For me, it was amazing. It's one of the most memorable opportunities, and it was an amazing experience.
I felt like we've completed the journey. We set out to tell August his story, to bring his words to life, and we were able to do that.
I fooled him, Rose. When I found you and Corey in a halfway decent job, I was safe. Couldn't nothing touch me.
It was like a beautiful, warm reunion when we all got together, and we knew what it was. We knew where the good stuff was.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years.
Well, I've been standing with you. I gave 18 years of my life to stand in the same spot as you.
Okay, you've been moaning about the movie, so what would you give it out of 10?
You know what? I would give it, purely from a performance perspective, I would give it a satisfactory 6. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, there's one more movie we have to discuss, and that's Moonlight.
Oh,
what
gosh.
did you think of Moonlight?
Shoot me now. It was just too long, but I found that it was quite low budget.
Yeah.
And very painful to watch. The storyline
No, but in what
was
sense?
just
Painful in what
heartbreaking.
sense?
The storyline
Yeah.
was just heartbreaking. It was about this. It was like a gay love story,
Yeah.
but in a very unconventional setting. You know, you do not expect guys in that kind of environment to experience that, and then come out in the end to be this big shot gangster.
Yeah.
You know, and
but isn't that what you loved about the film? I mean, I saw the film
no,
as well,
it
and
was
I
just
kind of
depressing
enjoyed.
because his mom was a druggie, and I'm a mother, so I normally personalize those things, and I imagine my son in that situation.
Yeah.
So it was heartbreaking.
But what did you think of the mom's performance, Naomi Harris? What did you think of her?
Because she's brilliant.
Because she's up for Best Supporting Actress.
No, she was absolutely brilliant.
And the
it's
lead,
just the storyline killed me.
Okay.
And the music was dreary, and it was depressing as well. And yeah, but it I guess I could give it. Okay, I'm not allowed to say halves.
No,
but
halves.
A 5.
A 5?
Yeah, a low 5. No, it was low budget.
No, but just because something's low budget doesn't make it bad.
There was only one actor that I recognized and that I loved.
So now you're judging something on the fact that you recognize someone or not. So how are the new actors ever going to get a space?
I liked her performance, and that's why I'll push it up to a 5.
Sharon is someone who we all know, who we all love.
He doesn't talk much because he's different.
Moonlight is about the people who help you, the people who do love you, the ones who do emerge and throw you a raft.
Hey man, I got you. I promise, I'm not gonna let you go.
Stop putting your head down in my house. It's all love and all pride in this house. You feel me?
You can blame me.
Who is you, Sharon?
Try to shame me, and still I'll care.
The story is just a beautiful journey about how you can find belonging, but only through another person, and how love has the ability to heal.
You ain't gotta love me, but you gonna know that I love you.
But in this instance, I have to disagree with you. I would give Moonlight an excellent 8. I thought it was fresh.
Are you kidding me?
No, I thought it was
No
fresh.
ways.
It was fresh. It was original. It was well acted. It was well directed. It was beautifully shot. The score was moody. No, I really enjoyed it.
It was low budget.
We'll agree to disagree. Disagree on that one.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's one more movie that's big in terms of the Oscars this year, but I know I've seen it and you haven't seen it yet, and that's Jackie. Have you seen Jackie yet? You haven't seen Jackie yet. I tell you what, I watched Jackie this weekend, and Natalie Portman's performance is absolutely incredible. You know,
let's go see it, actually.
It is absolutely incredible. You know, you hear about actors that inhabit a character, that literally start living and breathing a character, and that's what Natalie Portman does. She literally becomes Jackie Kennedy. And you know, it was the early 60s was such a trying time for the United States with the Cuban Missile Crisis and all the rest of it, but it takes a very short period of time. It takes 5 days from JFK's death to the actual funeral, which happened 4 or 5 days later, I think. And it tells you Jackie Kennedy's story around that time. It is incredible. The film is, you know me, I'm big on history. So the film is historically, it is perfect. The performance is perfect. The production design, everything. I tell you what, if I had to rate Jackie out of 10, I would give it a 10.
Really?
I kid you not. It is perfection. So that's something that you need,
to
go
and
see.
That. Yes, I do.
You really need to go and see it.
You know, I used to be a reporter myself once. I know what you're looking for. A moment by moment account.
Natalie has something that I think is essential on acting, which is mystery.
Natalie has such unbelievable authenticity in this role.
I know you think I'm some silly little debutante.
Listen to me.
You don't protect me anymore.
When you watch her performance, she became Jackie Kennedy. There's just not a false moment.
I told everyone that I can't remember. It's not true. I can remember everything.
For me, the great moment in the process of this filmmaking was forgetting I was watching Natalie.
Are all the pieces from Lincoln's time?
It was bought by Mrs. Lincoln. She bought a lot of furniture for this house. Which made her husband rather cross because he thought she spent too much money.
She has an amazing voice. She has this sort of New York accent that's mixed with this finishing school accent.
It's exact. It's exact. The pauses, the posture, the smiling, all on a dot, like perfect.
When somebody is so possessed by that character and their work is so refined, you get to be taken away by it.
Jackie had to pretend to be so many different things at different times. All of these different aspects of her personality really allowed the piece to crystallize. So you get a sense of her true self, hopefully.
Right, if you agree with us or disagree with us, tweet us at CNBC Africa using the hashtag #SilverScreen, because this week we've got some movie tickets to give away. So tweet us your opinions of the Best Picture nominees and you could stand a chance to win 2 tickets to a new Metro cinema near you. Well, Nobs, I think that about wraps it up for tonight's show.
Yes, it does, Rob.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us. And remember, next week we're going to be taking a look at all the Oscar winners and losers. Yeah. I know who your favorite is, and I know who you want to win.
And they will win.
Please, God, help us. Please do not let La La Land walk away with Best Picture. I will not bring myself to talk about that film ever again. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night.
Good night.